Hello, it's Kevin Kenny. This is the Build Series live from the corner of 4th and Broadway here in New York City. We're about to be joined on stage by our guest today who has been giving us hit songs for, believe it or not, over 10 years at this point. Returned to the top of the charts last year with a song called Taste, I'm sure you're well aware of. And as of this morning, I guess we can officially say this, brand new album out everywhere this Friday called Legendary. Please join me in welcoming Tyga.
Good, what's poppin'?
It's rare we have a guest on that has so much going on in their life in such a short period of time, man. I saw you in LA at Wango Tango performing with Ali Brooke over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then I saw you on a jet. I guess you came here, of course. Now you're here in New York City.
Yeah,
you announced the album. It's kind of a surprise announcement, no?
Yeah, I like to. I'm big on like element of surprise because I feel like it's so much going on. People's attention span, you know, it's kind of like to announce an album like a month ahead of time, 2 months. It's kind of and. I feel like the run has been like since Taste a whole year, so kind of people have been anticipating the album anyway. So I just wanted to get it all done and then just drop it the week of, you know.
Was this always the plan when you released Taste? Was it to build to an album, or was this when did the idea of an album come about?
I mean, if it was up to me, I would just put singles out. But
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, why an album now?
because I feel like it's like a playlist. I look at it more as a playlist, and if you want those vibes or if you want a certain vibe, and summertime is really, that's when music is like at its peak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When people are looking for those vibes to go out, road trips, people graduating, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, well, and especially the compilation that you've put together here. I wanted to run through the names. I actually wrote them down because we can announce this, right? All the people on the album. Is that cool?
When does this air? This is live?
This is live. We are very live right now. Should we not talk about these names?
Let's not
talk about these names.
Yeah, let's not do it.
If only you could see what's on the back of this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about at least the star-studded nature of your approach to this body of work. I almost think of it as a composite of what's going on in rap right now, right? I mean, you really have everybody that's popping right now on this record. Why was that important for you to do?
I think it's just vibe, and for me, like, of course, like, you know, even in LA, like, it's just, you know, like the party vibe and just the tempo, like with me, Mustard, with YG, well, we're Ty Dolla $ign. As far as like West Coast, like rap, you know, it's like coming together like it's never been before. So I just think it was important to drop like right after YG, you know, because originally he was going to drop earlier. Then, you know, with like the passing of Nipsey, that kind of like just put a whole stop on culture and everything in West Coast, like LA. Nobody was going out. Everybody was, you know, into the funeral. Everybody just wanted to celebrate that. And it was just the right time for summer. I feel like it's real important for LA for this album. Mustard, YG, Ty Dolla $ign, everybody that we're all working together and just show that unity, you know?
Right. Well, how did Nip's passing just personally affect you as both just a person from California and that was around Nip to also an artist?
I think both, like knowing him as on a personal level and then knowing him as an artist, like that was just something that was just it was just like real heartbreaking, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I really didn't know how to feel at first.
Right.
You know, but I think we got to look at it now. Like he said, the marathon continues. So it's like it's a marathon, and we got to keep it going, and we got to celebrate his life. You know, right. But it's cool because I like how everybody is, even new fans of him that probably didn't know his music before, are like celebrating his life. And you know, you get a new fan every day. You know what I mean? Like there's somebody I meet every day that's like, I like this song, or I just heard this song, or you take like for me, it's like I take a picture with somebody new every day. You're meeting people every day around the world. So it's like your job is never done. You know what I mean?
Well, something you've been really tremendous about throughout your career, really dating back to like coming up with Gym Class Heroes and even Fall Out Boy very early on, and then even more recently doing a song like Marshmello or Ali Brooke, is you talk about growing fans day by day. You've never really been afraid to sort of like genre bend, as they say, right? And like go out and collaborate with an entirely new fan base.
No, as long as people let me do my thing. I feel like if somebody wants to do a feature or like they already kind of have an expectation, so you kind of just got to let an artist just do their thing, you know what I mean? Or unless you're in the studio with somebody and you're collabing, you know, but
Do you think you get the credit though, like for being as versatile an artist as you've been? Really, when just those 4 names I listed off, the list does go on. But I mean, really, you're somebody that has reached out to other genres, maybe even before like the community of hip hop would be open to it.
Yeah. What was the question?
Do you think you get the credit you deserve for being as versatile as you've been?
I mean, I think as an artist, you always feel like unappreciative because artists were very like feed our egos. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think it's something to where it's like we just want feedback from we want because it's like you work hard and you want to share the feeling with other people and you want other people to feel that story. You want other people to feel the same way you feel about a record. So that's kind of like what excites me. Like when I see when I put something new out and I'm like at the gas station and somebody comes up to me and is like rapping a song that I just put out, it's like that's exciting for me. It's like you're listening, people are listening,
Right. Take me back to, I guess, we could take it back to early 2018, right? You put out Kyoto, right? And then Taste really blows up like late summer, I guess. I don't know when you officially dropped that record, but it was like a late summer, real big fall
like
smash.
Like in May, yeah, like right before summer.
Right on. And it went top 10 on Billboard, of course. How did you get that beat? Because it's just the beat game is so competitive, and that's such an undeniable.
Yeah, producer DA. I've been working. So it's funny because I've been working with DA since my first album, Careless World, and that's the album that Rack City was on. That was 2012. So we've had chemistry for a long time. But he sent the beat to me, and I was like, this is something different. Because usually he does he's more like a melodic producer. So he he produced for like Chris Brown, and he does like a lot of R&B stuff. That's what he likes making. And he sent me that beat, and I was just like, I love loops, but it was really slow at first, So I was like, it's too slow. Like I'm not gonna be able to perform this. Like I can't. Like it takes me 5 seconds to hear a record. Like to know how I wanna approach it, or do I wanna spend an hour or 2 hours working on this song? Like you know what I mean? So when I first heard the beat, it was just like, nah, this is something.
Yeah. I've heard you say that before in past interviews, this like 5 to 10 second test you give music. It reminds me of like how we probably listen to music, on New Music Friday. We'll give it like a couple seconds if it doesn't hook us, right?
Well, I mean, for me, I think listening to music and creating it is two different things. Like I listen to Billie Eilish. Am I saying her name right?
Eilish, yeah.
Billie Eilish. I listened to her album for the first time the other day, but I listened to it from start to end because you have to digest the music.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this is and then after that, I'll look at lyrics. Like I'm still a person that I want to read the lyrics while I'm listening to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, creating music, 10 seconds, 5 seconds is like my approach on making the music. But listening, obviously you can't listen to something for 5 seconds and judge it if you're listening to it. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
You got to kind of live with it. And it's all a mood, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some music you play on the way to work, driving home from work in traffic, in the club, getting ready to get dressed. It's all different vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. Getting back to really quick though, that 5 second test you give beats or you give songs. Does one pop out in your head throughout your career that you give the quickest yes to? You didn't even need the 5 seconds. You just said yes. You knew it was so undeniable.
You mean like a specific song?
Yeah, that you look back on and you're like, oh my God, that was yes from jump.
I try to make all the songs like that.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I mean, Ayo was pretty when I or Rack City when I heard that it's certain, like you said, it's couple notes. You know what I mean? Like it's always 3 notes for me.
Yeah.
That if I hear something, I'm like, oh, this could be something. You know?
Totally. I was thinking just before you were coming on today about how many different Tygas there's really been, right? Like you were kind of like the coconut guy when I was in high school, and then you were the Rack City guy, and then you were the Young Money guy, and then the AO guy, and you've always sort of evolved and reinvented yourself, at least from my eyes as a fan. Yeah. How do you, retrospectively now, you look back on your career, how do you think of it? Do you think of it in chapters like that?
It's a timeline. It's like tattoos. It's like a timeline. Like when I was getting tattoos, I was 15. Now I don't get tattoos. I'm not into tattoos, which is crazy. But it's something that's kind of like a timeline of your life, you know what I mean? And, you know, I was signed to Wayne when I was 17, so I was around him when he was making Carter 3, so it's like going to school your whole life, like, but with music, it's like you're just doing it in front of the world, so like your mistakes, it's like trial and error, like it's in front of the world. Like nobody comes in the game and is just perfect, does everything right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's a growing process, and you got to keep evolving. The sound evolves. You know what I mean? So you got to either be ahead of the wave or you got to evolve with it.
Right. That's a very mature outlook. Of course, you have all these years in the game now, but there had to be mentors along the way, right? Who comes to mind when you think about that?
I mean, Lil Wayne was definitely a big mentor. Knowing him on a personal level, it just really showed you, like, at the end of the day, let the music speak. It's not about like trolling or
Right.
like other stuff that people will want to make it about. It's really about the music when you strip everything away from, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost ironic when you think about that because if there's been a constant in songs or artists that have blown up over the past 12 months, unfortunately, trolling really is at the center of it. And here you are, you've done it bigger than most, or if anyone, purely based off the strength of the music.
Right. I mean, the music is, like you said, it speaks. Like, a hit is a hit, and people will always want new music. It's just like, it's a universal language. Like, I went to, last month I was in Jerusalem, and I did a show in Egypt. And to go out there and to see that people know your music in these places when it's so much controversy and so much like political things going on in their lives, that they have time to really like focus on you and come to your show when it's a war zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's crazy to me to go to a place like that. But these people, they just see the joy in the music, and you're bringing them joy and happiness. Like, for that day, you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Billboard did a great feature on you last fall, kind of during the rise of Taste on the charts. And you said that you'd figured out, I guess, between the time of Kyoto and Taste dropping, you figured out what the world wanted from you as an artist. You said something to that effect. I don't want to misquote you. But what did you learn between those two releases?
I just think something I wanted for myself. I think I was in Australia, and I was just like, you know, I want to get back to making records like this, and I want to have fun again. You know what I'm saying? There was a point in my life to where I wasn't really thinking about having fun. I was like I was unfocused. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was dealing with like everything else beside the music. You know what I'm saying? When I was like, the music is the focus, but you got to be inspired to make music. You know what I mean? You definitely got to be inspired. So I don't know what inspired me, but it was like, when I get back home, I'm going to go to the studio every night. And that's what I did. Just went to the studio and just started recording.
We won't talk about the features, but can I talk about an audio clip on this record that is very appropriate for what we're talking about right now? There's an amazing, and I want to ask you where you got it from, audio clip of Wayne either talking to you or talking to a group of people. It sounds like while he's recording Carter 3, and I believe this comes up at the end of track 2 on the album.
Oh, yeah.
And he's talking about how he you know, at the end of a music video shoot, I think he talks about stopping by 106 in Park. He doesn't go to the club; he goes to the studio.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Do you know where that comes from?
Yeah, it was like a documentary he was filming, I think, during like Carter 3 or something like that. And I just took a couple seconds of that and put it on there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I got some other cool like little like interludes like that.
Yeah.
Listening throughout the album, they're not listed, but if you just listen to it all the way through.
Do you know offhand? There's another audio clip at the end of track 3, and it sounded almost like Kanye, but I don't know if it was Kanye.
Yeah, it was Kanye.
It was Kanye.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what
That
he
was
said?
We was in the studio, and he was just like, you know, he was just venting. So I was like, you know what? Let me record this. Because you're saying some really good shit right now that people should probably hear this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was going to use it, but it was kind of like, it was just like taking notes. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, let me just record this, because he was saying some crazy stuff.
Right.
In a good way. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, he said he doesn't get inspired by very many artists at all, and you are someone who continuously inspires him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
It almost that must give you direction and focus when, you know, all the craziness of the internet and all the craziness that goes around, you know, just the music industry, the trolls, if you will, right?
Because I
Just to
think
have
if
that
you,
in your back pocket.
yeah, I think if you naturally inspire people, like you're naturally looking for inspiration. Like I know I'm always looking for inspiration and things that are like, oh, that's dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. What's inspiring you these days?
I really like this Billie Eilish girl, man. Like her style is really tight. Like
What do you like about her, though, specifically?
it just feels very authentic. It feels very refreshing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but also it feels like I don't care what nobody thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I like artists like that kind of just is really not trying to be political or play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think music, maybe you'd agree, could use a little bit of that right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Just to
for sure.
freshen things up.
Even Tyler the Creator album,
Yeah,
like his whole concept and whole character he built,
yeah.
like it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
First ever, he went number one. First ever time somebody self-produced and self-arranged the entire album going number one.
That's
So
incredible.
it's very, very cool.
And to be in the game for a long time, you know, like it just goes to show you, like if you just never give up, you keep going, like people will eventually get it, and people will eventually appreciate things that you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Talk about being in the game a long time. The last time I sat down with you, Billboard made us rewatch the Bedrock video.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I don't know what it was about,
Yeah.
but you were a good sport. And we watched this video back and you shared stories. And, you know, we talked about the YM days, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw recently on Instagram that Drake actually bigged you and YG up about the Go Loco song.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, are you the type of guy, do you hit Drake up and say thanks, or do you kind of like keep it moving when you see somebody big you up like that?
Oh man, it just goes to show you that like people are always watching, but it goes to show you like being inspired. You know what I mean? It's like it's just nice to like, you know, give people their flowers while they're smelling, give people their roses, because like you said, like for artists, that type of stuff feeds us and it motivates us more to be like, oh, this person is listening. Oh, y'all rock with that. Like, cool.
Right.
I'm on the right path. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. I like that trend we're seeing in hip hop now, right? You talk about giving people the flowers while they can smell them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a new wave, and I think it's real healthy.
For sure. It's about unity, too. That's why you see a lot of, like, features. A lot of people are working together. And
Yeah.
A lot more features in rap.
Yeah.
And even, like, cross genres. You know
Totally.
what I mean?
Totally. I think it's great because you guys win as artists when you work together, and then, of course, we as fans win. We get the great music that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Did you hit Drake up or no? Did you say what's up or thanks or anything like that? Or
I think YG posted it. He retweeted it.
Right. That's cool. Speaking of YG and just California right now, man, you have such a unique perspective on that scene because you know born and raised out there. You've seen so many eras pass through. How does right now? Because it feels very strong. You know, of course, I'm here in New York. I'm seeing it from a distance, but between you know you and YG, and I mean Roddy Ricch, who you worked with on the Post remix, like it just feels real strong right now. How do you feel it compares to other eras?
I mean, it's definitely a lot of unity, but especially with like Mustard, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't have a lot of like well-known producers in the West Coast, and Mustard is like probably one of the top 5 producers in the game right now. So I think him even reaching out to like him getting Migos on records and you know keeping Atlanta involved in what we're doing, and it's all good for like the city, you know.
Now, in the Kanye clip, he talks about how you were the first or one of the first people to hop on a Mustard beat. How early were you on the Mustard?
So YG always basically like that was like his DJ producer, and YG had a song called "Tooted and Booted" that was like real big, like in LA and like the party scene. So I was like, yo, man, like, and we were cool. So I was like, yo, man, have Mustard send me some beats. He was like, all right, cool. So he sent me like 3 beats, and one of the beats was Rack City. So like I think to this day, YG's still like, damn, man, I could have had that beat. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool though because like now we got Go Loco and other records that are coming. So it's all full circle, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. We're going to toss over the fans in just a second, but we were talking earlier about all these different settings you listen to music in. Driving to work, you're at the gym, you're after work, you're partying, you're pre-gaming. How do you want people, when we throw this on Friday or Thursday night, if you're watching on the West Coast, how do you want people to listen to this? Like, where should they be? What atmosphere they should be in?
Oh, man. It's just a vibe, you know what I'm saying? So, like, For me, music is like supposed to take you away and just kind of like. That's why I feel like when people go to the club or, if you're going home from work, you're driving in the car. Like I like listening to music when I'm in the car by myself, because I could really like focus and vibe to it. But I also like listening to music when I'm on the plane. You know what I'm saying? So it just really depends on like where you listen to music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Other than Billy, who else are you listening to right now?
YG's album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like current. I like listening to like current things. But then like I'll go back to like some old Eminem, early like Jay-Z, early like Outkast, just like if I'm looking for like something nostalgic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're going to go over to Twitter really quick. This comes from @BenjaminCMV. Tyga, what's your inspirations and how's the process when you make a song?
Inspirations behind music is I'm definitely inspired by videos and pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like I like mood boards. Like I'm big on like like I know like me and Kanye, we were always like he'd be like, "Yo, you got any mood boards?" And like he'll always like I'll show him. He was like, "Yo, send me some mood boards of like cars. I'm designing this thing in this house." So mood boards I think are very important like for artists because it's like it's a visual thing where you can just see a collage of things, and I think that helps with like music. Because when I make records, I always think about the video. Like I always think about the video when I'm recording a song. Like if I was to do a video for this, you know.
Right. Do you have a favorite video growing up? It seems like they made an impact on you.
Michael Jackson, Remember the Time, and then probably Buster Rhymes, Give Me Some More.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like Buster Rhymes was like one of my favorites growing up because like his videos were so crazy.
Next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like coming out of the TV.
Like Hype Williams, like, you know what I'm saying? Just classic.
Crazy. What's the greatest lesson or takeaway you've had just being close to Ye all these years? You talk about mood boards, but anything you feel like most informs you as an artist these days, courtesy of Ye?
What do you mean?
Just like maybe something that you talk about being around Wayne and the Carter sessions, right? Just like and just being around Ye for so many years. What have you learned from him that you feel like has the most lasting impact on you?
Oh man, you always got to step in front of excuse me. You always got to step in front of your creative because like like if you give it to somebody else's hands, let somebody else mix this or let somebody do your artwork, let somebody come up with a treatment for your video, like it's not your full vision. And that's why I'm very hands-on. Like I create all my treatments, all the videos. I'm like in all my mixing sessions, like, because it's very important because at the end of the day, it's like people are only going to see you. You know what I mean? So I just think learning how to be way more hands-on is something that, like, I picked up habits from people like him or Wayne, you know?
Yeah. It's funny, you talk to some people just, doing these interviews that you looked up to as a kid, and then maybe they're not at where they were or where they once were. And a lot of them say that. They say that we started listening to other people. We weren't following our own vision.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the secret of it all is longevity. Yeah. All right, let's get to the first studio audience question. It's going to come from the front row. What's your name, man?
Julian. If you had the chance to collab with any deceased artist, who would it be and why?
Deceased artist?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like Tupac, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tupac is, for the West Coast. Definitely Tupac, maybe Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of Pac track would you want to do? Would you do like To Live and Die in L.A., like more melodic, or would you go like All Eyes on Me Pac?
Not too aggressive Pac, but I would do something definitely. I'd probably do something like How Would You Want It or something like that.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Still
get
fun,
around.
still fun.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, great question, Julian. Let's get to the second. It'll come from right over here. What's up, man?
I'm Calvin. So I was wondering, have you kept a record on how many artists you would like to collab with by each year?
A record? Not really, because I feel like there's always different, like, it's all about timing with music, you know what I'm saying? So, like, right now, it might be a West Coast bounce, it might be an Atlanta bounce tempo, or it might go straight Jamaican island music. You know what I'm saying? So music, it moves, it travels very fast. So it really just depends on, you know, what the universe is feeling. You know what I'm saying?
But also speaks to that versatility, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm always open to like doing like tracks with other people though.
Yeah. No,
If it
totally.
makes sense, you know?
Why'd you name it Legendary really quick?
Legendary, man. Just everything I've been through just up until this point, and to come back, and you know, the people said I had the biggest comeback. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? But like just to even get people to say that is like that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? It goes to show like, oh, the hard work it's not going unnoticed, you know?
Right. So you take it as a compliment. That's good.
Yeah,
When people say biggest comeback.
For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's funny.
Let's get over to right behind me, the final studio audience question.
Hello, my name is MJ, and I was just wondering what advice you may have for an inspiring rapper like myself.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think you have to stay consistent, because there's not like one song that's just better than all your other songs. Like, for me, it's like my favorite song is probably the last song I recorded, which is weird because it's like you always want to keep challenging yourself, but you got to have fun while doing it. Like, you can't think about like, I'm going to make music because I want to make money. Like, I started making music when I was 12. I wrote my first rap when I was 12. So I've been doing music more than my, you know, like I've committed to music like mostly my whole life. And I think it's just something that's just, you got to stay passionate about and just want to do it and have fun while you're doing it, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Great question. You remember that first rap?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember a bar?
I remember
or two?
like the first 4 bars, actually.
Can you give us some?
Yeah, it was like back on the scene, Krispy Kreme. On my next birthday, I'm turning 13. I know it may seem that I'm too young to know things. I know that life ain't all about bling. I even got the schoolgirls to sing. That was the only part I remember. But I remember that.
Yeah.
That was.
You were nicer than most at 12,
No,
man.
that was literally my first rap, and that's the only way I like remember that.
That's awesome,
Because
man.
I was like, that's how I know I was 12 when I started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Next
saying?
birthday gonna be 13. That's awesome. Tyga, thanks so much for stopping by,
Appreciate
man.
it.
We really appreciate it. Legendary, the album out everywhere Friday. One more time for Tyga.